Welcome back, everyone, to the Black Tornado Podcast. As usual, we've got 5 bands for you, 5 killer tracks to start your weekend off. Got some really killer bands today. As always, I am your co-host, Adam.
Hi, everybody.
That's great. And this is apparently Toby's other co-host.
No, okay, well, you clearly didn't get. Did you ever watch The Simpsons?
I know this. Yeah, Dr. Nick.
Yeah, I was just hoping you were going to go, hi, Dr. Nick.
Oh, see, I thought you were doing your own spin on it.
No, I was just going, hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick. There we go. All right. See, I thought he was doing his own. I thought he was doing like a Toby character. You guys remember Toby? Toby's never coming back, by the way.
I have no character.
Toby's never coming back, by the way. Toby's gone forever.
Please do never bring Toby. In fact, no, bring Toby back for the award show. He could be the host.
Yeah, Toby will come back for the Golden Podcast Awards, which, man, I'll tell you what.
I'm your host.
I'm your host, everybody. It's Toby. You guys ever listen to an award show, man? Whoa, it's crazy. It's wacky. Speaking of Golden Tornado Award, which is something we haven't really spoke much about because there's not really time for it, but we're already into September, so that will be here before you know it. And as we get closer, we'll give more information about what that show is going to be. But trust me when I say that is one you do not want to miss. That is going to be probably the biggest thing we do all year. Very exciting. Looking forward to that. But we'll get into that in the future. For right now, we're going to head over to Germany. We're going to listen to Heads for the Dead. The song is called Into the Red.
Not
Spooky black metal is always a good time. It's a cool mix of traditional black and some modern stuff. Vocals kind of reminded me of old Demi Borgir.
Yeah. I was going to say it got like an old school death metal vibe for me, like the original death metal.
Right, yeah.
Like Death and people like that, where it was a bit slower and still technical, but it was, I really like. Also, the thing that really stood out for me that gave it that vibe was the drum mixing. They mixed the drums to sound like an actual drummer had played them, which it's a thing that you have to do in death metal. You have to make everything really clicky because it turns into mush otherwise. Right. But that had got more of a vintage drum sound to it with a bit more dynamics in it, which made it feel like an old school death metal track. I really like that. I like that.
Yeah, that was really cool. Speaking as somebody who really enjoys black metal and stuff like that, and I hope that you guys listen to the show, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do, because in the future, I do want to try and play some more black metal on the show. I always talk a lot about wanting to play a lot of thrash and things like that, but this episode, since you're already listening,
this episode is a bit more black.
Yes, this episode has some black and has some other elements of metal that we're going to get into later in the show. We don't have any
going into like the symphonic, because I
really struggle to do that voice.
Yeah, there's some great symphonic black metal. I mean, you've got Demi Borgir is obviously the first one that sticks out of my head. You've got Cradle, which a lot of people like talk bad on Cradle.
Yeah, I'm not having anything bad said about Cradle, Phil.
But listen to go back to early Cradle and listen to like Midian. Like, you can't tell me that's not a great record. That's an awesome record, Midian.
Danny Filth is a very creative dude who has his issues. I'm not going to pretend he hasn't. And he has a tendency to occasionally be a bit Mega Dave.
Yeah,
but that also changes.
Look at where he is in his career.
That's what I was going to say. It changes the influences in the band, and it's kept him moving. Like,
it's kind of a given at this point with how big they are.
Well,
Did you ever see his movie?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, I'll send you the link later. So Danny Filth from Cradle of Filth, it's probably like 15 years ago, maybe closer to 20 years ago, put out a film, and it's not awesome, but it's out there.
It's not awesome. That's a way of being diplomatic.
There's one part of the movie that's really great, and if you've seen the movie, you know the part I'm talking about. And outside of that, the movie's not really that great. So we don't have any plugs today, which is weird because usually there's always something to plug, but not today. So I'm just going to run through a couple of things. I've got a couple questions I've been asked that I said I would answer on this episode, and just a couple random things. But to start us off, I hate sounding like a broken record, but I feel like I haven't said this in a long time. Black Tornado Podcast is always looking into band submissions. Your band, your friend's band, send us a track over at blacktornadopodcast@gmail.com. We will do our best to find an episode that fits your band.
We need you.
Yes, we need you to help grow the show and to help bring metal, bring underground metal to the masses, which is exactly what we want.
And you can also bring us presents if you'd like.
You can bring us presents. Presents rule.
As long as they're not STDs.
Yes, well, not for Ian. For me, that's fine. I don't care.
I've collected them all already.
But it's like I've said before, the absolute coolest thing, my favorite thing that occasionally happens is when a band will message Black Tornado page and say, thank you, we've noticed some more views, we've noticed some more followers, blah blah blah. That's my favorite thing, because that tells me that the podcast is working. It's not about Ian or I. It's about getting these underground bands more fans, more followers, more clicks, and thus propels them upwards. Now, what's great is when those bands then turn around and thank us, thank the show, which is really great. But again, we're however many episodes in, you guys understand the point of the show. The point of the show is to get these under bands into your ears.
And we're going to do they wouldn't have been heard before.
Exactly. I mean, you look at the Philippines episode, the Italy episode, a lot of these bands, I know for a fact you guys never would have heard these bands without Black Tornado. So for that, I kind of, pat myself on the back for that one. But more importantly, to give these guys in these other countries a soundboard, a place to get played. And when they write us and they tell us thank you, that people are messaging them and getting in touch with them, everything kind of comes full circle at that point. So that's really what the show is all about. And we're going to continue that trend. We're going to head over to New Orleans, Louisiana. We're going to listen to a band called Woorms. That's Woorms with 2 O's. This is Scapegoat off the album Twitching as Prey.
Find a place I play.
Yeah, Woorms is a sick name. Woorms with 2 O's is a sick name.
Woorms.
Woorms. Thick riffs, sludgy drums. Assholes and roses smell the same to me. That's a great line. That's a great line. I can smell the stale incense when I listen to this song. It's like a sensory thing for me. I really enjoy the swagger and the vocals. It's kind of a trippy kind of sound. It's really cool.
It sounded like a cult having a meeting.
Yeah.
Like, it sounded like there was a guy stood on his own at an altar.
Like a podium.
With his arms out, and then there was just hundreds of people singing a song all back to him, and he's just going, "These are my people."
Yeah.
Like, I really cool. Musically, though, I've got to say, that drummer fucking loved that pocket, sat in it like a motherfucker, and went, "This is my chance to be a star." And he was. That was great. Like, everyone in the band was great, but the drums really took.
I'm right there with you. The drums were the golden star of the song.
The main sort of the changes in feel and the mixing up of the fills and stuff, all of that stuff came from the drums in that song, while the guitars sat back and did the atmospheric thing, which is normally what the drums would do in a song like that. So it was fantastic. It was really cool. I liked it.
And I love getting stuff from New Orleans, anywhere in Louisiana. Anybody that knows Nolans. Anybody that knows me knows that I love sludge and doom and things like that. And you've got bands like Acid Bath and I Hate God that are, you know, the OGs of that shit. So it's always cool getting a band from Nolans on the show. That's fucking sick. Let's see.
Fanning me, I know that much.
Yeah, killer stuff. Oh, here's a really funny one. This isn't a question. This is something I noticed. Go back to episode 14 and take a drink of water every time I say the word unique. You will be incredibly hydrated. I don't know why I played it back, and I'm like, Jesus, man, how many times am I going to say the word unique?
Maybe you were trying to be unique, Adam.
I was trying to be unique. I'll put it to you like this. I say a lot.
It was your attempt at coining a new catchphrase.
Yeah, the word unique.
So like you could just go, that was unique, and that could be your new thing. You're just hammering it home.
I'll tell you. Well, I mean, I stand by what I said. I like unique sounds, and that's what makes this podcast fun. But I did a playback of it, and I really honed in on how many times I said that. So yeah, that's a fun, healthy drinking game. Just take a drink of water. And you'll be very hydrated, and you'll have Black Tornado to thank for, nice clean urine.
Or you could do it as a nice glass of water in a 1-99 mix with whiskey and be very drunk at the end.
Yeah, you could do that too, but I'm not telling you to do that. You do what you want. I'm just saying if you go with water, water's fine. And I have to go with whiskey, but, if you do, send us a voicemail later, and we'll play it and laugh about it.
Black Tornado podcast does not contain drinking.
We don't.
I meant condone drinking.
Well, neither one. We don't condone that you drink, and we don't contain.
You contain a fair bit of drinking at the moment.
Hey. Shut up. Shut up. Start with me. He's getting me on my bloody over here.
My bloody what? See, in England, that would be half a sentence. Getting me on my bloody. I'll be getting you on my bloody what?
They have a sentence here, but I don't give a shit. Speaking of not giving a shit, and speaking of unique, we're going to listen to a band, and then I have a tirade to go on about this genre of music, and I'm going to... But before that, we're going to listen to the song. This is Slam Andreas from Grove, California. The song is called Fish. It is off the album Grand Fucking Slam.
You, sir, are a fish. Legend? Wait for it. Dairy. Never eat Indian people.
All right, real fast, and then I'm going to let Ian cut in. If you don't laugh when I just told you that a band called Slam Andreas is from Grove, California, you had a boring childhood because you didn't play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. The fact that they put that they're from Grove, California, is awesome. Good for you guys. Ian, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that song. I think Lars has a challenger for the tightest snare ever.
Well,
that wasn't a snare. That was a biscuit tin.
Right.
Like,
well, that's a lot of Slam, is really high emphasis on that super, super tight snare,
that was bordering on piccolo snare.
Yeah.
So ping, 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 ping.
That's really cool.
Christ, that's a different snare sound.
Yeah. And so back to what I wanted to yell at our audience about. Usually Ian yells at the audience. I'm going to yell at the audience.
I can yell at him if you want.
We don't play enough Slam. And I blame all of you for not sending us more Slam, because I will speak for myself, Glenford, and Corey and say that we can listen to that shit all day long. The random horn was fucking hysterical. Is there?
There was some. I know you're laughing, but there was some genuinely good use of samples in that song.
Yeah.
With the legend.
Dude, see, this is the kind of stuff that, Black Tornado has evolved, as all shows tend to evolve, and we've kind of fallen into kind of a comfort level with playing something psych, some desert rock like Dr. Nez. Super props to Dr. Nez.
I'd vote for more progressive metal. Yeah, you'd all hate me for that, so I won't influence you with my tastes.
No, I mean send the shit in. It all fits somewhere. But I just think that Slam, coming from me personally, I love those caveman riffs. I love the silly sound clips. I think it's awesome. I think it's a band that is clearly a band called Slam Andreas, is a band full of people that can play their instruments and they're not taking themselves too seriously. They're having a lot of fun.
Well, I think I don't know much about the scene because I'm not part of it. But from what I could tell from the outside, it, much like punk, quite an important part of the scene is not taking it too seriously.
It's supposed to be fun.
Take it seriously. You're in a band, but have fun while you're there. And if you want to have fun in your songs and that's what you enjoy doing, do it.
And that's why I love bands like Belushi Speedball. Any band that has fun when they're playing live shows. Guar.
I just don't like fun.
Yeah, Ian doesn't like fun. I love
fun.
And so we need more Slam in the show. That's really cool.
I wasn't saying I don't like that song, by the way. I was saying I literally...
Ian genuinely doesn't like fun, not the song.
I'm one of those people. I struggle to relax in a way where, like, when I was playing in bands and stuff, I wasn't the one jumping around having fun all the time because it was stressful for me. Do you know what I mean? I was one of those people. And like I say, if you're one of those people that do have fun while you're playing, it's great. Like, do it. It's just I'm not one of those people. So I've had to lean into the slightly more serious, artsy side of my music. And that's fine as well. It's just different horses for different courses.
Yeah, different strokes for different folks. Let me go back to another question.
The look you just gave me, that was disgusting.
What was that? I was trying to read the screen. I wasn't.
Oh, well, it went in subconsciously because I said I'll give you a stroke in a minute, and
I didn't even hear what you said.
You looked at me like, "Don't fucking say shit like that."
No, my eyes were because I'm I have a very tall glass in front of me, and that's all I'm going to say.
No, I'm short. But I am a tall glass of sexy. I'm not.
No, my eyes are squinting trying to read the screen. Here's a question that I got asked that said I'd answer on the show. Do we promote other artists or graphic design artists on Black Tornado? Not really. Go buy something from Glenford at Grind Art. Glenford! That's my bro. That's my friend. I'm going to support him all day. I'm sure there's other great graphic design artists and other artists that do things and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sure you're all awesome. But guess what? This is my show. And at my show, we support Grind Art. So there's my answer to that.
Yeah. Well, it's more to do with the fact that Glenford's done stuff for us. He's a big supporter of the podcast. If another graphic artist wants to get involved with us,
awesome,
wants to do that, we'll talk and we'll promote people. But at the moment, we're at a point where we're trying to we're not trying to shamelessly advertise people. We're trying to sort of build a decent community.
And I don't want a different logo. Our logo's sick. It's not changing anytime soon. It's awesome the way it is. I don't have any interest in changing it. I don't have anything against other artists or graphic designers or anything like that. But Glenford he's a staff member on the show. He's Glenford. He's staff, man. He's been with Black Tornado pretty much. Pretty much since the beginning. It's the same thing with Matt Reich. I mean, Matt Reich he's staff on the show. So I'm going to promote what Matt does because A, he contributes to the show. He's a personal friend. I love his music. I can go on and on. But the point is, it's kind of like Howard Stern said, it's good to be the king, which basically means I can do and say whatever the hell I want. And what I've been wanting to do for these last however many plus episodes is support my friend and give my friend. I'm going to bug all you people. You know what would get me to stop talking about Glenford and Grind Art? Go buy something. Give that dude a bunch of money, and I'll start talking about him. I'm going to keep bringing him up.
Trying to nicely say is at the risk of being an arsehole, it's a mutually beneficial thing. You've got to support us to the level that Glenford supported us. We don't just blindly plug people. The people that we mention are people that, well, not just that you like, that people who have helped us a lot along the way with things. It's not just a shameless advert. That's not what we do.
No, I'm not just doing it for any old reason. I'm doing it because this is my friend of 10 plus years.
Yep.
And that's why I do it. But anyway, just to answer that question real quick, and now I'm done with that, we're going to head over to Poland. We're going to listen to a band called Eternal Fear. The song is called Altar.
When my return to the beach of sea, I start to back so I love myself. Don't think about me now. I'm angry, loud, and sad.
So they say melodic death metal, which I get, but I hear a lot of thrash influence in that.
I put industrial death metal.
Okay. I mean, it's really killer stuff. It's not too often that we get a Polish band on the show, so that's cool enough. And then I was thinking about it, and I thought that would make a really cool theme episode. So, Eternal Fear, if you guys listen to this, if your buddies, bands, or bands that you've toured with or played shows with, tell them to get in contact with us, because a Poland episode would be really cool.
Definitely. Poland's got an amazing metal scene.
That's what I mean. So that would be really fun to do. Let's get Poland on the show, man.
Yeah,
that would kick ass. So please, Eternal Fear, I am putting you guys in charge. You are the ambassadors of Poland right now. I leave it in your hands. Thank you, Eternal Fear. That was a kick-ass song.
I know a few metal bands from around my area that have got Polish guitarists, Polish singers.
That's good enough for me.
Really good local bands.
That's good enough for me. Tell them to send something in. Come on the show.
But they're not like second generation Polish people who are English and say, "Oh yeah, I'm Polish."
Nobody's going to sit there and
no. But my point is, they're actually, because there's a lot of Polish immigrants in this country.
Oh, they're the real deal.
But they're also, a lot of them are in this area. Like, a lot of them moved to this area.
Hell yeah.
Quite a few years ago, and they were some of them, and they're lovely guys. I've worked with loads of them, really hard working, really fucking, like, almost like Filipino people who work you into floor poles.
Right.
They'll work 24 hours a day for less money than you. They will work hard for what they want.
If you know the bands, man, I mean, you know the email. Tell them to send something in. Tell them to message us on social media.
Have a chat to some people. But yeah, the Polish bands, that's the ones we really want. Like, we want the Polish scene.
Yeah, I want to learn about, every country, every scene is different.
Yeah, I learned so much about Italy and the Philippines.
Yeah, that's what
our episodes, and that's what I want this one to be. I want to learn about the Polish metal scene.
Eventually, I mean, I can't promise this because, as Ian has said before, the sun could go out tomorrow. Eventually,
the sun could go out tomorrow.
It's bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be. All right, never mind. I do love Annie. I've said that before.
I know you have.
That's why I sang it. I love Annie. I'm not going to say otherwise. Anyway.
I hate musicals. Oh.
Have you seen Annie?
Yes.
Give Annie a listen.
I've seen lots of musicals. I just can't. I get what they're doing. I just can't get down with singing things that should be spoken.
I'm not a fan of a lot of them. I was literally brought up watching that. So I have a bias because...
The level of musicianship in musicals is probably the second highest tier for me, behind classical musicians and like who write classical music. Like the level of musicianship involved in musical theatre, the music is incredible.
Oh, it's through the roof.
Yeah, like the melodies are unbelievable. It's just I can't get down with people going, and I want a sandwich. Please get me my sandwich.
There's a lot of them that I am not a fan of. There's a handful that I genuinely love, and Annie just happens to be one of those, but I don't know why we're talking about Annie.
Because we're a musical show.
Yes. It's going to be like the April Fool's episode when we're like, it's all musicals, everybody.
The Disney Day.
Disney Day. That's going to rip. All right, we're going to go very far away from Disney Day now. We're going to go to Cincinnati, Ohio. We're going to listen to Hostile Vision. The song is called Keyboard Gangster.
They try to act hard, but they're just playing the part. Copying what they see from LTV. Fake fuck spreading disease. Blows their pussy, stay away from me.
Your mama will recognize you in your coffin.
You're nothing more than a fucking punk bitch. Keyboard gangster, sit by the screen. Leave your fucking clique and come face me. Keyboard gangster, practice the words you preach. but they ain't legit. They're fooling no one with their fake persona, trying to fit in, but they're just deluded. Fake gangsters get doing it. False threats will leave you dead. Fake gangsters get doing it. Those false words leave you dead. 556 straight to the dome, send you to the funeral home. Leave your mama crying alone, you pussy ass bitch.
Man, that is some talk shit, get hit, crowd killing mayhem. 556 straight to the dome. You heard what the man said. If you want some hardcore to add to your workout playlist, Hostile Vision might be the right way to go. That was it was cool, man. Reminds me of like hardcore kind of shit. It was fun.
It got a chunky headbanger of a riff, though. I really like that.
Yeah.
Did you? The only reason I'm going to say this because I don't know, I think it was off the pod when this came up, but we happened to mention this person the other day, and it turned out we both liked this person and didn't know. I heard hints of Des Fafara in the way he sang that.
Yeah.
Like
a little bit.
A bit harder, but his approach to singing was very similar to Des. Like aggressive spoken words.
Yes. I get where you're coming. Yeah. I wonder.
Really good use of a sample into the bridge in that song as well.
Hostile Vision dudes, do you guys like Coal Chamber or the much better band Devil Driver?
Well, that's debatable.
No, it isn't. My show. No, it isn't.
It's my show too, and I am on the other side of the fence. Not that I don't like Devil Driver.
Put your fishnets on and your black eyeliner.
Yeah? What's your problem? I'm a new metal boy.
Not. Hey, man, I'll tell you what. They're actually gearing up for pretty crazy
loco. Me loco.
This is actually he's ill right now, so they had to postpone the tour. But I could be wrong. I believe the current tour, which will be starting up next year, is Coal Chamber. Wednesday, get this, people. If anybody knows me in my personal life, you'll know I'm excited. Wednesday 13 set, but Wednesday 13 is only playing Murder Doll songs.
Kez will be on you for that.
Beyond excited for that. Twisted.
Kez was a big Murder Dolls fan.
Oh, yeah. They were huge in Japan. They were huge.
I could imagine they would be because the aesthetic and stuff like that is very Japanese.
Yeah, they were huge in Japan. Anyway, so it's Twisted, former Psychopathic Records artist, Fear Factory with the new guy, which I haven't heard anything yet. And
nobody has, have they?
I think they just dropped something.
Right, because I know he was intentionally not showing anybody or talking about it or anything. All he was doing for about a year was just going, "Now fuck Burton, Burton. We're suing each other. I don't want. Who's the new singer? It doesn't matter who the new singer is. Fuck Burton." And you're like, we want to know what you're doing, Dino. I
think there might be another band on the bill. I can't really recall. But anyway, I mean, that's a pretty decent lineup. It's pretty old school. So they're coming to my neck of the woods. I may have to hit that up. I may have to hit that up, honestly, just for the Wednesday 13 Murder Doll set, and then I might just go home. I don't know.
Yeah, because there was a lot of legal problems with the Murder Dolls a few years ago, weren't there?
Well, it's still kind of going on. I don't want to get into a whole thing about that, but essentially, there's one half of the Murder Dolls which is still putting out Murder Doll stuff, and then there's Wednesday 13.
Well, I was going to say my understanding of it was that the band was co-owned by all of the band, and then they stopped playing, went on hiatus and stuff. Then copyright or whatever lapsed, and one of the members bought the rights to the name.
Exactly. Correct.
And Wednesday wasn't very happy about that because
Correct.
they'd all agreed that it was all split and blah, blah. And that's my understanding of it.
Well, and all of this took place after Joey's passing.
Yeah, yeah.
And so the idea was, hey, Murder Dolls is over.
Well, that's kind of, I know it's going to sound harsh, but it's kind of why he did it, I think, because if Joey was still about, he was the one who, what he said would have been what happened. Like, because it was his project, really.
Well, it
And
was
so-
Joey and Wednesdays.
Yeah,
Mainly.
but the point is the guy didn't do it while Joey was still alive, did he? Because he knew he didn't stand a fucking chance. But once
Not at
Joey
all.
wasn't here, he was like, oh, Wednesday's not thinking about it. I can make some money
I
out
have
of this.
free game to do what I want. Yeah, totally. And Wednesday has always put Joey in the front, especially after.
Yeah,
his
I know he has.
passing.
He
and before his passing, has
Like, he
always.
always sort of, all the interviews I saw with him talking about it, he always sort of pointed it to being Joey's idea, and Joey approached him, and you're like,
Right.
no, I'm
And
sure it
always
wasn't like that, but
and
you
always
just
gave
don't-
Joey an incredible amount of praise. And R.I.P. Joey Jordison, the best new metal drummer. Just listen to the beginning of Eyeless and shut up. I mean, that's my argument. Listen to the beginning of Eyeless and shut up. Let's see. Here's another thing. Another question that I said.
One more thing.
Yes. Another question that was asked. And this is a pretty regular question. I just want to be as transparent and as straightforward as humanly possible. This is about people asking, will my band be played on the show? And this is my answer. The show is not going anywhere anytime soon. Give it time. There are various reasons why bands are shifted from one show to another show. We may have a theme coming up, not just country, but a genre of metal. It may sound a little too similar to another song or another band that we're playing. Basically, there's 100 reasons why things get moved around. And I think that it helps move the show along without it getting bogged up in, oh, they played 5 death metal songs in a row. We don't really do that unless it's a theme. So basically what I'm getting at is if you
Shut your fucking mouth. It'll get played at some point.
Yeah,
That's what he's getting at.
Thank you, Ian, for streamlining that. That is pretty much what I'm saying is that just, dude, calm down. It's cool. We'll get to you. Black Tornado's not going anywhere.
It's not a personal thing if you
It's not.
sent something a few weeks before and we haven't
not.
regretted.
Not a
Also,
personal
it can a big part of it can be to do with me, scheduling with me, and also I don't do a lot of the song picking for this show, but every once in a while I'll suggest something to Adam and he'll go, oh, that's perfect for the next show. And that means he then has to move one of the other songs and he then has to sit and look at which of the songs he's got planned for the next episode and think which one's going to fit best with another episode. And then he has to move 5 other episodes around to make
I am
everything
definitely
fit.
that
So,
person that likes to have contingency plans for everything, likes to plan a lot of things out in advance. You people, and even Ian doesn't know this, you guys would be shocked if you knew how much is already loaded, already ready. I don't just wake up 10 minutes before we get on our podcast and start pulling names. No. All of this stuff, all the bands that you heard today were picked from 100 other bands for specific reasons. And I don't just wake up, open up the music folder and start pulling names. Everything is curated because I want the people that don't like certain genres to get a little exposed to it. And I want the people that do like the genres that we normally play here to get a little bit of what they're used to. This is actually the first episode in a long time that we haven't played anything. I mean, Woorms is a little on the sludgy side, but we've been playing a lot of like desert rock, doomier kind of stuff. And we haven't done that today. And again, there's a reason why, because I don't like us to get stuck in I don't like us to get pigeonholed, to get stuck in one spot. I like the show to grow, spread its wings, evolve a little bit.
well,
And I hope that
an important
you guys are-
reason for that
Mhm.
is because we want to please as many listeners as possible as well. And we're
Absolutely.
aware that if we play too much of classic rock or too much thrash or too much, it might please 10% of people, or it'll completely satisfy them, but the rest of the audience have to wait another 2 weeks to hear a song they like, and that's not what we're about. We want people to try and find at least 1.5, 2 songs an episode that they go, oh yeah, I could take something from that.
The ideal situation is that out of the 5 songs that you hear, if even one of them you really get into, and I've got those messages before. I've got the people that told me, I love Toxemia now, or I love These Strange Explosions, or this one or that one. And that's really cool. It doesn't mean that you didn't like the 4 other songs.
No, exactly.
It means that band really struck a chord with you, and now you're a fan of that band, and that's awesome. That's what we want.
And that is all we're doing.
That's why we do it.
Well, talking of These Strange Explosions, the drummer from those guys messaged us again the other day, just saying thanks for playing them. Like, great band, lovely guys.
Those dudes rule.
I'm so gutted I don't really go out in the wild, and so I don't get to see them. I wish I could, but I don't, for various reasons. But they are an amazing band, and I would play them every day of my life. So,
and if you guys like These Strange Explosions, go bug them and tell them to come hang out with us, and we'll get them on the show. That's what, Well, that's what happened with Dr. Nez.
Yeah.
Dr. Nez, a while back, got some really good reception and absolutely deserved it. Dr. Nez rules. And so now we're in talks with the good doctor. So that'll be coming up here in the future. And that's just from people saying that it's a good idea and wanting to hear it. So, here at Black Tornado Podcast, we look out for the fans first. We don't sell anything. I know I've been getting bugged about T-shirts. Maybe it's just because I had a larger glass than usual of liquid today. But I will say this. You want me to sell you a T-shirt? So be it. You know what I think would be cooler? If I don't sell you anything and you make a T-shirt and then send me a picture of it. That's cool. This show is not about money or our names or our faces and us becoming these popular people. We are here for the bands. You know that by now. We're here for the bands.
We want to be a little community of international music fans who just like listening to new music.
Yeah, we're not anybody special. Anybody could do this show, but the kicker is they're not doing this show. This show is unique to us. And if you hear another show tomorrow that does what we do, it's because they stole the idea from me.
I just got to say, you're dropping your catchphrase in again there, Adam.
What did I say, unique again?
Yeah.
All right, that means I'm ending the show. All right, thanks, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Black Tornado Podcast. As always, I'm your co-host, Adam.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Dr. Nick. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Take care. Bye-bye. Love you.
Peace.